Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now. Hi, Hoodle!
Take this! Double demon fang!
By the power of Wind Snap! Here's lightning condemned! If they rush you, you gotta go recover, okay? Far enough! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Double demon fang!
Reload!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
The heavens must be smiling.
Hey, it's that ingredient.
Yeah, the one for that recipe.
You always have an eye for food.
Ow! Take this! Slash! How about this?
In the wind!
Explosive ring!
Photon ready!
Forward! You're mine! Double demon fang! Swallow blade! Take the damn it! Slash! Double demon fang! Win!
Take this!
By the power of
Swallow blade!
Quit staring and concentrate on the fight.
I don't take orders from you.
Dance in the
Swallow
wind!
blade! Double
Air thrust!
We managed to pull through. What's this thing?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Right, here goes!
I can handle it!
I'll tear you apart!
Burning here!
You're mine! Double demon!
Rip it away!
I'll take you all on!
Only getting started! I can
Try
do this
this!
all day!
Inferno turret!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Got it!
We're in
Leave
the
it to
home
you!
stretch, guys.
Swallow blade!
Eyes on the prize. That focus goes double for you, Rob.
Me? How come I get singled out?
Raging storm! Whoa, hey! One at a time!
Any injuries?
There's something in the... I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond, and it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
I hope we catch something decent.
Indeed. Hungry bellies are counting on this. I've got something. You've got to know when to quit. Ha! Looks like I lost it. Not my lucky day, I guess. Reel it in. You've got to know when to quit. And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
What do you...
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
It'll take more than that to break my shield!
Dependable for last.
Double demon fang! You're finished! Double demon fang! Swallow blade!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
One more!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Take this!
Searing Fire! Reload!
Infernal turret!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! That's it! Freeze Laser!
Here I come! Slash! Severing wind!
Tiger
Here I
Blade!
come!
Burning
You're finished!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Going in! Freeze Laser! Far enough!
Here I come! Swallow blade!
Try
this!
Take this!
Burning
Excellent technique. How are your weapons holding up?
Pierce evil!
Don't get complacent.
I'll clear the way through.
I've got your back.
Pierce
Swallow
evil!
blade!
Going in!
Negative double demon
Freeze
fang!
Laser! Tiger Blade! Airborne Beast! My special!
Swallow blade! Double demon fang!
Going in!
It's gone!
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Tiger Blade!
Blade! Kisara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
That firepower of yours is really something.
I could say the same.
All right. There's nowhere to run from my heart.
When he slows down, that's our chance! Take this!
Leave the agile ones to me.
Double demon fang!
No further.
On guard! Take this! Tiger Blade!
Begin! You're on!
This one's in mine!
Take this.
By the power of water! Tiger
You're
Blade!
mine!
Keep up the
Swallow
pressure!
blade! Try this!
throbs in pain.
Infernal Torrent!
Elusive deity, this one's mine!
You're mine! Power Blade!
Can you take it?
Take this! Double Demon Fang! Severing Wind! Take this! You're finished!
Elusive deity, look sharp!
No further!
Annihilation! Searing Flame!
You're mine! Double
Do it!
Demon
My
Fang!
head's lost! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Go!
Look sharp!
Double Demon
Make it
Fang!
one more! Tiger blade!
Infernal Torrent!
Make it rain!
You're totally in an instant! Impact Block!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I sense a strange power from this.
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Woods don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
shall ensure you survive this.
Here I come! Double demon fang!
Negative state! Resonate with the
Ready and rich! One more!
We got fire!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Be still!
Glacial Spear.
Here's
Here's
the
evil.
Elusive deity!
Going in.
Double demon fang! Strike!
Tiger Blade. Here's evil. Going in. Primed and ready.
You're mine! Double demon fang! Dazzle! Take this!
I'm ready! Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. Take it. Got you.
This one's mine!
Elusive deity!
Here I come! You're mine! Take this!
I'm ready!
It's time!
All yours, Kisara!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah, we used to run up and down these slopes all the time. We're in for a long slog with this one.
Swallow blade!
Look sharp.
Tiger Blade.
Double demon fang!
It's a duel of the arts.
Severing wind!
You wanna play? Come at me.
You're mine!
The enemy wields arms too.
We'll soon see about that. Ready.
Resonate with the
Annihilation.
Here I come.
Magna Ray.
Double demon
Gemini
fang!
Aqua. What's up?
Rising falcon!
This one's mine. Power of water. Magna Ray.
You're mine!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Tiger Blade. I'm all stuffed up. Annihilation.
Denied.
Magna
You're
Ray.
mine!
Annihilation.
Double demon fang!
This one's mine.
You're mine! Double demon fang!
Lunar Corruption.
Stardust!
Lunar
Resonate
Blade.
with the earth! Stalagmite!
Swallow blade!
Blade.
Lightning
Make it
strike!
rain. Piercing astral energy.
Say no more!
Look sharp. One more.
Tiger blade!
Elusive deity!
You're mine! Double demon fang!
Make it rain.
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis.
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
This one will be difficult to predict.
You want me?
Not today!
Get me.
Can you take it?
Try this! Infernal torrent! You're mine! Infernal torrent!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis.
This one's mine. One more.
I'm ready!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein. Something you wanted to say? Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
We're in for a long slog with this
No
one.
further! Swallow blade! Try this! Swallow blade! Swallow blade!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf. Going in.
Slide!
Searing Flame. Reload.
This one's mine.
Take this!
Denied.
No escape!
Here's a healing art.
Get up behind me.
First aid.
Ah!
Crescent move. Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No gun waste here!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
I let my guard down.
Stay away from my friend!
Beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with
Take
light.
this! Resuscitate! Try this! No! Can't end here!
How do you like being pounded into shape?
Where are you going?
I'm ready to go.
Beyond, imbue this vanquished
Here's a healing art! First aid!
vanquished soul with
Ground
light.
and down!
No further!
Mega ray! By the fire! Ground and pound!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, that's totally to me.
Tiger blade!
Double demon! My turn!
By the power of water!
You're finished!
On guard! Mega ray! Make it ray! Back into the fray! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
Think we overdid it?
Not by a long shot.
Let loose!
Tornado drive!
Double demon fang!
Mega ray!
Make it ray.
In an instant!
Impact block! Here I go! It's over! I can handle it! Annihilation! Mega
Double
ray! Do
demon
it!
fang! In an instant! Impact block! We won.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me. I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed, and it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now, as strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
What's this thing?
We're in for a long slog with this one. Like moths to the flame.
Here I come!
This one is mine.
Double demon fang! It's over! Double demon fang! You're mine! Swallow blade! Try this! Infernal torrent! Swallow blade!
Blaze Lancer!
I'm not done!
Lunar Corruption!
Dragon swarm!
Elusive
It's over!
Mega Ray!
Tornado drive!
Lightning Charger Blade!
Double demon fang!
Let me help!
You're mine!
Can't be happening!
I couldn't make it in time.
Going in!
You're mine! Swallow blade! It's on!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over!
Who said anything about letting off?
I can't lose!
Is that a healing art?
It is. I can't ignore your pain.
I'll try to be more careful.
Do it! It's here!
All yours, Kisara.
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Double demon fang! Try this!
Negative
Infernal torrent!
Resonate with the
You're
earth.
finished!
Look shot.
Take this!
I'm all gonna do it!
Kisara. All yours, Kisara.
Skills in top form, art's working like a charm. Ha!
Someone seems rather pleased with herself.
You... Did you hear all of that?
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I'll clear the way through.
I've got your back.
Not today!
On guard! One more! Tiger Blade!
Infernal torrent! You're mine! Double demon fang! Win!
First aid!
Astral Arts?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
I never miss! Tiger Blade! By the power of water!
Swallow blade!
Gemini Aqua! One more! Tiger Blade!
Take this! Double demon fang!
No further.
It's over!
I'm ready!
Double in an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed
This
walk.
one's mine!
You're mine!
Tiger Blade!
Infernal torrent! You're finished!
I've used too much.
Come one hit down! I'm not done! Double demon fang!
I'm ready!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Sword and shield!
A classic combination.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Finally, some open space again.
Guess I'll polish up my sword.
Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
I think it's time we go to sleep. Morning. Ready to head out?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Not today! Here I come!
Going in.
Demon Fang! Infernal Torrent! It's over!
This one's
Take
mine.
this! Got fire!
I'm stuck. Let a marksman handle it.
You're mine! All yours!
Discharge.
You're mine! Chrono Blade!
Stalagmite.
Dazzle!
Go. Do it. Shion. Go for it.
Prepare
Think we overdid it?
Can you take it?
Not by a long shot.
Elusive Fang! Rotating Pile Driver! I'm ready! Hey! Blow them away!
Glacial Spear.
Take
Pierce
this!
the hand.
Double Demon Fang!
Negative gain.
Resonate with the Infernal Torrent! Stalagmite! Still got a ways to go!
Phew, what a rush.
In a vine?
And again!
Double Demon Fang!
Going in!
This one's all mine!
Here's a healing
Infernal
arm!
Torrent!
This one's
Come
mine!
one, come all!
Tiger Blade!
Elusive Deity! Try harder!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for you truly.
Infernal Torrent!
This one's mine!
Here I come!
Reload!
An astral art?
That's my cue! I'm only getting started!
Shut him down!
Annihilation! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Here I come! Slash! Lava Blade! Try this!
This one!
Infernal Torrent!
Tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack.
Human short workers remain ever vigilant.
Having trouble keeping up?
Go on right behind you.
You're feistier than you look.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
Dramatic, but fair.
Take this!
Infernal
Tiger
Torrent!
Blade! By the power of water! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Gotta break
Here,
through!
let me help!
Take this! Burn!
Going in!
This! Double Demon Fang!
In the shadows!
Try this!
Tiger Blade!
Infernal Torrent!
By me!
Swallow Blade!
Going in!
Infernal Torrent!
Tiger Blade!
You're mine!
This one's mine! By the power
Double
of
Demon
water!
Fang!
Prepare to be
Severing
seized.
Wind!
Actually, found this more appropriate.
Let's talk any more to her.
Here I come!
Freeze Lancer!
Double Demon Fang! Try harder! It's on! Double Demon Fang! Slash!
Tiger Blade!
Slash!
Lunar Blade! Wow, looky here!
Won't forgive you.
Take this!
I shall ensure you survive this.
Annihilation!
Swallow Blade! Try this! Infernal Torrent! Swallow Blade! Here I come!
Let me help.
Fine freak!
Why can't they just sit still?
See ya! Can you take care of that?
No sooner said than done.
Try this! Infernal Torrent! Here I come! Swallow Blade!
Far enough.
This one's mine! I'm only getting...
Where are you going?
Tiger Blade!
Hitting Pile Driver! Slash!
Here's a healing arm!
You're mine!
The enemy wields art too.
Hey! Blow them away!
Graviton!
I'll face you! Here I come! Not so fast! Swallow Blade!
Water!
Take this! Swallow Blade! Infernal Torrent! Resonate with the earth!
Tiger Blade!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare to Malika!
Resonate with the earth! I'm ready!
Look sharp!
Tiger blade!
I'm not done!
Going in!
Rotating
Eruption! Don't mind if I do! I'm on a roll! Going in!
Here I go! Infernal turret!
That's a pretty fancy skill there.
All the better to protect you with, my dear.
Then I'll leave the front line to you. I found some equipment.
Let me... take a look at it.
Coming through!
Flame of fury! If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Did you
see this coming? Here's evil!
Double demon fang! Infernal turret! Resonate with the earth!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me! Here I go!
No complaints here! Take this!
Denied!
Double demon fang!
Annihilate! Going in!
Double demon fang! Slash!
Tiger blade! This one's mine!
Elucidity won't save you!
Power of water! Ready! This one's mine! House it!
Yours are not the skills of just any warrior.
Save your compliments. We have to move.
Driven and talented.
Swallow blade!
Going in!
Infernal turret! Slash! Take this! Okay, my hit!
Our superiority was undeniable.
It feels invigorating to dominate a battle.
I was certain I saw you yawn.
Come now, I'm certainly not that relaxed. Bad feeling about this.
Burn!
Burning
Fine!
Here's evil!
Swallow blade!
Resonate with
Try this! Infernal turret!
Make it rain!
Double me! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Slash!
Look sharp! Nothing gets
Turret!
Light.
It's over!
Hear me!
And your death will win. Then tonight's meal is on you.
Go! I'm ready!
To me.
Blow them away!
Step back! This one's all law!